Hi, everyone. I am Heather from Grounded Approach. I'm a nutritionist and a certified GAPS practitioner. And today I am with Dani, and we are going to tackle a topic that is, should you introduce the top allergens to your baby early? Does that prevent food allergies? Does that prevent food intolerances? Is that what we need to be doing? This is a topic that we're both passionate about, and we're both actually quite qualified because both of us have helped people reverse their food intolerances. I mean, that's specifically what I do. My whole thing is reversing food intolerances, reversing food allergies, reversing histamine intolerance by healing the gut. So we have some skin in the game. We understand how the body works. And I think what we're going to dive into really will be helpful. So send this to a mom who's confused. Maybe it's their first baby. Maybe they're worried about allergens and they don't really know where to start. We're going to be giving you some awesome info just from our understanding, our knowledge, our practice, our experience. So, Dani, introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm a holistic nutritionist and I specialize in fertility all the way through starting solids. I'm boxing you in the baby making window. Um, and I really, Heather and I have joined because we both understand that the gut is like the root of everything that welcomes health. And we like Heather is in her baby making. She's got three little ones at home. And so even though her specialty isn't with peds like mine is necessarily, we're just like so ready to help moms feel well supported in their nutrition decisions. A lot of moms leave their pediatrics appointments, allergist appointments, gastroenterologist appointments, whatever, more discouraged than ever. Those are when I get all the reach outs. That's when Heather gets all the reach outs. And this in particular is just such a heavy topic right now. Um, Heather said send it to a friend who has a little one and worried about allergens. I'm also like, this is for the mom who sees the allergist regularly, who has the child with many allergies, who's told to introduce small amounts of the allergens regularly, or feels bad that she didn't introduce the allergens early. And that's why the allergens occurred, which is crazy backwards. And I'm pulling in Heather because she has been trained under Dr. Natasha Campbell McBride, which is the GAPS gut and psychology, but it's got an immunity. It's got an allergy. And I want to really just empower moms to make confident decisions. Moms are so anxious today about solids. And I've been in practice 13 years and I spent 5 in a pediatrics clinic working with a holistic pediatrician who chose to stand against the way that allopathic Western medicine was moving. And Heather and I, let me just say this really fast because this is a medical topic that we are breaching. We are not doctors and we're not going against what your doctor told you. That's between you and your doctor. But moms today need to do their own research. And we're here to save you the time and the energy of researching endlessly on Google or ChatGPT, which is worse. And just listen in. And we have so much experience. I've worked with thousands of moms all over the world. And I love pulling in Heather because I'm not sure that this idea of introducing allergens is something that's happening anywhere else in the world. I don't think Australian doctors are telling moms to do this. I don't think doctors in the UK are telling moms to do this. It's just a very, very strong trend right now with the American Academy of Pediatrics. And any mom who's seeing a pediatrician or an allergist is hearing that they should be introducing common allergens early. So
Yeah. And
here we are.
it might not be here now, but give it 5 or 10 years and it probably will be. So it's good to jump on that
Yeah.
early.
Yes. Yeah.
So Dani, can you quickly educate us on the types of food allergies?
Yes. Okay. So there are two. Um, And what I want Heather and I to do this whole chat is for you to think about allergies as the immune system and the gut. Because right now, allergies has become this isolated thing. We like think about it separately from the immune system and the gut. But here is how it's directly related. Immunoglobulin E. That's your part of your immune system that's named immunoglobulin E. Those are the true allergies. That's what your child's being tested for with a scratch test or with a real blood test. Those are the more true. I mean, I'm not going to label them necessarily that, but let's just quote it. Those are the true allergens. Those are allergies, excuse me. And these are the ones where children are having the anaphylactic reaction. They're having hives cover their body. They're usually very quick. They obviously are, sometimes there's problems with wheezing and breathing. This is when moms are rushing kids to the ER. Um, and this is where it gets crazy. And Heather is so my backup is because Dr. Natasha feels very strongly that even deep healing to the gut and the immunity can even restore and reverse IgE allergies. So, whereas even in the integrative world, now I'm going to move to the IgG, immunoglobulin G. We say these are the ones that are not true allergies. They're more the food sensitivities. And of course, they tell us about the gut, which should be very tight and sealed like this with lots of little microvilli, is open, which is today called a leaky gut. And that you just, if you go in and you heal and seal the gut lining, which is Heather's expertise, that this is how you can actually reverse, heal IgG food sensitivities. IgG are delayed. I am so sorry, mamas, but you cannot identify your child's food sensitivities on your own. The reaction in their body can show up 2 to 4 days after consuming the food. So you're going to run around like a madhouse trying to figure out why the eczema just flared a little bit. Why my child's more constipated. This isn't very rashy associated. The hives are really IgE. Or a different something else could be going on all together in the body. But the IgG are very gut. They're very, very eczema related. And then all the way down the road, they're very autoimmune related. So this is how allergies are your child's immune system confused, compromised, and now responding to food as foreign. It should not be doing that. So Heather and I's goal is strengthen the immune system by healing and restoring full integrity to the gut. And I want Heather to really dive in a lot there for moms to understand how this whole thing with immune and gut and allergies is directly related.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. So when we talk about the immune system, because you might be thinking, what is the immune system? Is it all over your body? Sort of, but a big part of it is going to be your ears, nose, throat, that tube, which we see tons of infections and problems with in kids, huge sign of gut imbalance, all the way down to your bum. It's a huge long tube. Like she said, it has like the mucus on the outside. It's supposed to be covered in beneficial bacteria that break down your foods, create digestive enzymes. Basically, like your body does digest food to a certain extent, but a large part of that is the bacteria. And because of all the antibiotics in our environment, it's the chlorine in the water, it's the stuff they're spraying, even on organic produce. It's kind of everywhere. So we don't have enough of those. And so the body is not breaking down foods. And so if it's not breaking down foods, they leak into your bloodstream and your body goes, you're not supposed to be here, and it attacks it. And that's when you get that big allergy response. So it's not the food that's the problem. It's your body. And babies
Yes.
are they don't have their immune system. Their gut is not properly built up. And we can see that if we just look at nature, we don't have to like get super confused about this. Just look at nature. They go from milk. The reason they're having milk is because they can't digest solids. So we're going to talk about baby-led weaning in another episode. But
Yes.
if you just use common sense, you can look like we don't go from pure milk to like solid foods or peanuts or something like that. And what we're really trying to do in those early years, Dani has a course on this, which is awesome. And I highly recommend the GAPS book. And we put together a document for introducing baby's first broth. So we have tons of resources that we'll link below. If you are overwhelmed and don't know where to get started, I'll link all of those. But rebuilding that microbiome, starting super slow with easy to digest foods that build up that bacteria, that heal your gut lining, things that are supporting the baby before we throw in the raw carrots and all these allergens and everything. It's like we need to build that baby's digestive tract because if it's not digesting food, you're going to get an immune response. And so that's basically what we're saying. So I know that's a lot of information, but yeah,
Well, and
we love it.
today, the top allergens are like all the foods we don't digest. It's as clear as day when you understand how it's the gut and the maldigestion. And it truly is your immune system's job to identify anything foreign in your body and work basically until the thing is out to get the thing out. And so that's why allergies, when they develop, even at very low levels, are exhausting to your child's immune system. And if Heather had the time and we would go all the way into how then you have an autoimmune turn on because your
Yeah.
immune system is like, are you crazy? I am done.
Yeah.
But our goal with babies is just to prevent any IgE allergies, even class one. And there is a range for mamas who are in this world. There is a range that you are experiencing, and there is a range in IgG allergies as well. But moms don't need to be worried. They need to be taking action, is what they need to be doing. And they need to be empowered to know what supplements I'm giving my child today are strengthening their immune system and their gut. Like you're, as a mom, you're doing things daily to prevent these allergies, even if they are class one, class two, class three, from getting worse. I mean, at the end of this, you have a child in a bubble that can't eat any of the common allergens, which are just today, unfortunately, surrounded in anything. And unfortunately, when you end up with these, dairy in particular is not this is really what Heather nailed when she said it's not the food, it's your immunity in your gut. Because dairy done right is such an important food for your child's immune system and their gut, but it does need to be done right.
Mm.
um
I love it.
so yeah, do you want to where do you want to dive in next, Heather? Should we talk about some of the common
Well,
allergens?
so the advice I think is what is it? Introduce 100 foods by the age of 1 or something.
Yes.
And so something I want to highlight, and I don't mean to be disrespectful, like Dani said, we're not doctors, but I work with a lot of people who go to immunologists, and basically what happens is they get a test, pay $500, are on a wait list for like 6 months, who even knows? Allergies are off the roof right now, so like it's such a long wait list. But then they get this list of all these foods they can't eat, and they remove them, and their symptoms don't go away. So then they go back and get another test in 6 months, and it shows totally different foods. All this is showing that your immune system is learning. It's like an active thing, it's part of your body. So when things leak in constantly, it starts reacting to them. And I see a lot of people where, they have beef every day and all of a sudden they're intolerant to beef. But then they go to like salmon and they can do salmon. But then after 6 months, they can't do salmon. And so and that shows your immune system is learning. And you can reverse all of this. I just want to clarify, even the anaphylactic allergies people do reverse on GAPS. You definitely would want to work with a practitioner and wait till everything is calmed down. But I just want to give some encouragement in case you're in that anaphylactic space that can happen.
I'll say something there about IgG if you don't mind if I jump in.
Mm.
So yeah, so there's two classes of allergies here. If your child is dealing with serious IgE allergies and yet you've never ventured into looking into a comprehensive stool analysis or an IgG, find out more about what's going on in your child's microbiome with their digestive tract. And these tests can actually be ordered directly through me. You don't have to drive to see the pediatric allergist. You don't have to pay for the appointments. And I give you the information on how you actually, I don't want to keep saying heal and restore, but I know these are GAPS words, where I'm telling you, there's actually like a whole 4R protocol. And for a time, we do need to remove foods that your body's having a very high inflammatory reaction to. And then we need to go in and we need to restore strength to the digestive tract, high, which is stomach, small intestine. And then we need to move on to re-inoculate good flora into the colon. And then we need to repair the gut lining with DGL, glutamine, all the demulcents. Like Heather started this conversation with the mucus that is supposed to line your whole digestive tract. And when that's broken down, which it is when the IgG allergies are high, needs to be restored. The system is made to function in a very specific way when your digestion starts here and goes down and then all the way out. And like Heather said, one tube, one system. So we have so many resources for moms to dig deeper, look deeper, find out exactly what's going on in your child's gut. And then like our baby's first broth, that's like a daily food for a child dealing with allergies. And trust me, mamas, we're not telling you to go spend 10 hours in your kitchen every day slaving over broth. We've made this simple. We live this life and we are doing a lot of other things as well. So Heather, let's bring in let's wrap this up for mamas, like a few really concise
Okay. I'm going to give
like
some bullet
points
points
here that we think.
Yeah. So first of all, yeah, with the immunology thing, I hate to be this person, but it's like if they don't have a cure for you and their response is just food allergies don't go away, so just remove the food, that's not who you're going to be wanting to get your advice from. You know, if they can't, it's like you don't go to a mechanic who said can't fix your car and then listen to their advice about something. If they can't do it, why are we listening to their advice? No offense. But so the bullet points are it's not the food, it's your baby's immature digestive tract. They've only been living off milk. We need to repair that. We need to introduce really gentle foods to support that. That's going to be your meat stock, eventually probiotics, either in a powder or a fermented foods. Really gentle things like purees. All that's going to be preparing the gut. And then if you want, you can introduce those allergens later. But it's certainly, I can't imagine any world where just introducing a food early makes you not have an immune response. I don't know.
Yeah, like Heather was saying, babies by nature, even toddlers have weak immune systems. I mean, babies come out of the vaginal canal and that's their first, just very first initial inoculation of flora, and it's kind of minor. And then with breastfeeding, we continue establishing their microbiome. And then with food is this whole other layer of how we as moms can either make or break what their gut or their immune system is going to be like. And that's Heather will link my starting solids course where I am crazy about prioritizing the gut and prioritizing the immune system. And we don't have time to go into it in this one, but that's prioritizing your child's neurochemistry. This is also all related to the brain, but for this, it's allergies. So if you as a mom instinctively feel concerned about giving a 6-month-old peanuts or shellfish to a 9-month-old, and we even have a protocol for dairy. You don't throw yogurt at a 6-month-old. You wait until the digestive tract is ready. And this is all in my starting solids course about what age and how are we preparing the food? How are we serving the food? I did a reel on it today. I didn't give my son peanut butter till he was 16 months. And it was actually more like we're at someone else's house and it's there. And I'm actually not that crazy mom, believe it or not. And so he ate the peanut butter. He was awesome.
Yeah.
Do I serve it in my household? No. So some of the allergens are also interesting foods because we have mold in them, or corn is genetically modified. So is the wheat. The dairy is destroyed. I'm listing 4 of the top ones.
That's a good
But
point. There might be a reason they're reacting.
Mamas. Yeah. You do not have to introduce allergens early, especially if your goal is to strengthen your child's immune system and gut, which prevents false immune reactions to normal everyday foods your child should be able to eat.
Perfect. I love it, Dani. Thank you so much for having this little conversation. And like I said, if this is you or someone in your life's confused, send it to them, because the best time to support your baby's gut and immune system is introducing solids. And it's so easy. They're not going to talk back. They're not going to like protest the food.
Yes.
They're going to love it. Every baby loves meat stock if you introduce it early. My little 9-month-old now, oh my gosh, he is loving like pumpkin in the meat stock with butter, like blended up. He's like, it's his favorite thing in the entire world. So, so easy. Okay.
There's my happy, healthy little's first actual real food that you introduce.
Exactly. Okay. So we'll come back with another episode, but share some love, subscribe, and like the episode. Thanks, guys.
Bye, mamas.